Yes. Hey, Deb, thank you so much for joining me today. I am really excited about our conversation about, well, who on earth you are and what is the driving force behind the things that you do. I know something that's stuck in my mind. One of the things you call yourself is grandma on a mission.
Yes.
and we met in 2016 when I was in France. I was working on my book, and I remember that we met for the first time online. And
Yes.
you told me about the things that you are passionate about in life, your life projects, which I'd love to hear about too. But first of all, where on earth are you?
Where on earth am I? Well,
Yeah.
thank you for inviting me to do this. This is really fun, and I've always admired you, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. I live just north of Lake Tahoe in California, and it's Truckee, California, and I live up in the Sierra Mountains, and
Beautiful.
it's in the middle of the woods. I love it.
It must be an amazing place to be, to have surroundings like that. I've seen sometimes the photos, of you and your family, and it's always like really, really breathtaking. There's so much of the world I still have to discover.
Please, and you're invited anytime to come visit. Absolutely,
Well, this is recorded now, right? So now,
yep. I've made it. You've got to do it now.
This invitation. Yeah, the invitation is on the record.
Yes. In fact, my family has a hotel that's just right across from the street, the lake. There's a little inn there, and
awesome.
So if you don't want to stay with me, you've got this inn to stay in.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
So, Deb, I'm very interested to know what you are passionate about in life, and what lights your inner fire, what pushes you forward to create, and what are you creating?
Yes, I would love to share that with you. This year, I turned 70. And so there's a little clock ticking in my head sometimes. I say, well, maybe you got another 30 years, I don't know, but you better get on it, And I've done many things in my life. I have 4 children and 8 grandchildren, and I've had businesses and done all sorts of things. And my passion has always been for the children. And everybody said, why didn't you become a teacher? And I said, because they would have fired me the first week, because I'm very unorthodox, and that sort of thing. But I've always been a seeker and a searcher, and I believe that there's so much more than we share in this world. We get kind of blinded. And my having raised 4 children, they were 6.5 years apart. So they were, it was a close little gang of people. And I always thought there's so much more that I could share with them, so much. And as I grew in my spiritual, adventure, I thought, I really want to share information to children at a younger age, so that they really start to understand. Sorry, my puppies are back there talking to us.
That's okay. They're welcome.
Yeah. So I put together a program. It's called Life Ingredients, and it's 8 principles that I teach kids how to understand themselves. And I call it their human operating system. It's very much like a computer or a radio. And I really feel that if they start to understand how they broadcast things out in the world and they receive things in the world, they get a better feeling like, oh, that's what it's about. And so we start with thoughts, and we go through the 8 life ingredients, and we create a framework, like how to get calm and then find clarity, because so many people meditate but they never get the clarity. And so we're trying at a very young age to get them the clarity, and we go all the way through, and at the end is truth. And we don't spoon feed kids truth. We allow them to use this framework in their own life experiences, and we ask them to consider making a moral compass so that they can navigate their challenges and achievements. So they have a guidance system. And we do, and one of our ingredients is called guidance, and we call it the good, powerful system. It's their GPS. It's
Oh,
that
GPS.
knowledge. Yeah, and intuitive knowledge that they have, that we all have. And if we knew that at a younger age, how powerful is that? So this is really my passion. I think this is what, not only did I come here to raise my 4 children, but I came here to do this work with children.
Yeah.
And so that's my passion.
I love that idea, that concept also of teaching children from a young age. You use the example of, like being a radio computer broadcasting and receiving,
Yes.
and being conscious, like you said. I think you said the first ingredient was about thought. So how do our thoughts influence our reality? By what are we broadcasting, and therefore what are you getting back? So basically what you're teaching him is the principle of creation, right? So how we are creating, which is fantastic to be aware of that at a young age, because what happens now is that there is this lack of awareness, whereas so much entanglement and blocks are being created that we have to figure out how to undo and resolve, like in adult life or later on in life, and to consciously create and to know what we are broadcasting feels very powerful.
Well, and I think we don't realize the dynamics of how much we're programmed. Humans are programmed. And I think as we teach this at a young age, they're going to be able to capture that much, much quicker than, say, somebody like myself. I didn't know I was programmed around food and healthcare and education and all kinds of things. I was programmed into, and it wasn't until I was more well-informed about the truth of who I am. But I want to do that at a younger age. Why do you have to wait all your life to get there? Let's do that. And so I've been telling them that they've been programmed, and we're going to reprogram your mind. You're very much like a computer. And I think that's a good awareness, because right now in America, last week, I was so sad to hear about these children that were murdered in the classroom by one of their fellow students. And it just breaks my heart. And I just think, oh, what can I do to help with this? And I feel that in our country, we have made entertainment such a powerful vehicle for behavior.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to get through that with the little people, because it's going to take generations for us to get rid of this gun thing that we have here. It's a tough one. And so I'm seeding. That's my grandmother on a mission. I'm seeding my little kids so that they can bloom and grow and, and turn this world, into more awareness.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you say you actually share with the children. You tell them, like, look, you've been programmed or conditioned. Is that already like from the youngest age? Because from what age does your program, the Life Ingredients, offer these materials and exercises, for them?
Well, I start them in kindergarten up to about 11 or 12, because we teach stories and that sort of thing. And that's a pretty comfortable place. And what I offer to teachers and parents is, look, I can't give this all to your children, but I can give you some help and some support. And so what I've done is created a thing called Hey Grown-ups, and it's a little parent group that people can come to and talk and get some information, like, have you ever thought of doing this or doing that, or, kind of, and so then I teach in there about programming, that sort of thing, and hope that they can help the children, with that. But I do talk about it in the lessons too, that we've been programmed and stuff. And I think what it does is it's just like, oh, you mean it's not my fault that I'm the way I am? I think it gives people a little bit to relax about, because we get so nervous. And I have so many parents that'll say, oh, my kids have so much anxiety. Well, yeah. And so do you. And so does the group collective.
Yeah.
And we want to learn how to, handle that and become aware.
Yeah. So what are some of the programmings that are misaligned, that are disruptive? I mean, for me, I often come across programmings, for example, the program of needing to work hard to prove your worth, to be enough, the programming of, for some reason, this continuous guilt and shame, you know,
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
where does it come from? Feeling apologetic, you know, trying to make up for wrongs that haven't even happened yet or might happen. So those kind of programmings, I'm not sure, are there more of those kind of programmings that you notice are like that occur quite often?
Oh, yeah. In America, it's celebrity. You have to be a celebrity. You know, you got to be a YouTube
yeah.
influencer, or you got to be on a TV show. You got to be on Disney. You got to be, or
Look a
you know,
certain
you
way.
have to, yeah. And you know, the kids are taking their pictures constantly, and I'm like, oh
yeah.
my goodness, you know,
with filters, with the Snapchat
Yeah.
filters and all those things, and like, yeah.
I don't even know more, but that programming, we got to let go of that. You know, people have to, but see, they're looking from the outs, you know, they're looking at the outside. They're not from the inside. And our program is about getting you to look at your inside and how phenomenal you are here.
Yes.
And when you understand that, then you see the world in a beautiful, beautiful place. And up until that time, you get caught up in that programming. I also think there's this program that you always have to be right. And I think that's another big division in our country right now is my side's right, my side's right, my side's right. And we cause this, and I think collaboration, folks, what's wrong with you? Let's get this, you know, I mean, I have a feeling we're going to lose our democracy if we don't get it together here, because it's just, they don't understand working together is what's so important. So
that's a good one. Yeah, that is indeed, you know, like it's the almost like a battle for some kind of position of power.
Righteousness.
Yeah, but it happens in big ways and little ways. You're talking now about politics, but even like in very simple conversations, whether it's in relationships or friendships, it's like the explaining, the defensiveness, the wanting to be right or whatever. It's like the subconscious need to have to maintain a kind of position, even though it's an inner feeling, it's an inner idea of wanting to be at a certain level, but it's all like programming, it's all illusion, you know?
Oh yeah, it's inner programming, and it's, I think it's amygdala and who knows what else that's trying to protect us. Like, yeah, you are right. Well, how sad, but I think my education system, you know, like you there was a right answer that, you know, if you raised your hand. I remember in my catechism class, I asked the minister, what if it wasn't an apple? What if it was a peach? He never called on me again, you know. and you know, it's all right. It's all right. I just watched this program the other night, and the guy it was for like a music award show or something. And he's saying this, can we make beauty from ashes? And that's really been a theme of mine lately, is to look at the negative things and what can I learn from that? What supports me? How do I get what you're trying to teach me? And I remember at one time, there's a beautiful church in San Francisco, which is about 3 hours from me. And I was down there, and they feed 2,500 homeless people every day. It's probably more now. And I just stood as they were standing there lining up, and I just thought, teach me what I need to know. What do I most need to know from this experience, you know? And I think if we could start to get our children to understand that nothing's perfect, you know, we're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are wonderful. That's how you learn. You know, most of the time you make a mistake, you think, oh, I'll never do that again. And you learn, you know. And we, you know, somehow we got into that. We have to be perfect and we have to be righteous, and, you know, but there's so much to learn. I always think of Viktor Frankl, you know, sitting in a concentration camp, and, you know, he overrode the surroundings through his mind, you know, and there's a man that took the ashes and made it into beauty, you know, and that's what I want to teach children.
Yeah, beautiful. And then now you're speaking of ashes, I was sort of thinking of, you know, the story of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Also, you know.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, we have our children are brilliant and geniuses, and we don't acknowledge that in them. I see so many parents saying, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that. And I'm like, oh, get over it. Allow them to be free and try some things,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, beautiful. And also the program that you have for the kids, I also think that if they are in an environment that is still encouraging the old programming, that could also be quite challenging. So I think hopefully the parents will be inspired also by the kids taking part in what Life Ingredients has to offer, and those seeds will be planted within them too, because then the whole family environment will be supporting each other to take on the new programmings. Okay, it's also programming, because we talk about reprogramming, which means you're programmed again.
Right, exactly.
But
what are we gonna do?
I mean, that's how we work apparently, in this in this physical vehicle. But I think it's a programming more connected to our soul essence, and like you saying, which was, I think, a very key thing, is that you want the kids and people to go to the inside, to go within themselves, and to know that they are phenomenal. And then you see the world through different eyes, which I also experienced, because I've said this a couple of times to people. I am in my energy field. I can't step out of it. Everywhere I go, my energy field goes. So for me, my energy field is a lens, basically a lens that I am constantly looking through. And if my inner world is projecting a frequency or beliefs or emotions that are of a low frequency, and I'm feeling bad and disconnected, that's how I perceive the world. And like you said, when you tap into that phenomenal energy within yourself, then for me, the energy of my lens changes as well. And that's how, I perceive the world. You begin to see the world in wonder and seeing the beauty.
Childlike wonder.
Yes. Seeing the beauty.
I call it childlike wonder.
Yeah. I have a short YouTube video. It's called, instead of living in the now, it's called living in the wow.
Yes. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And is that programming? Well, it's a good programming, if we're going to do that. And I lost my train of thought, but it was to say that kids start to understand, like what I try to explain to them is, your thoughts are broadcast out there in the world through your energy. And everybody knows what you're doing in the present moment. You think you can hide yourself, but people have feelings and connections. And the more people understand this, the more they will recognize, are you having a good day? Are you having a bad day? Wow, you feel awesome today, and that sort of thing. And, that's where we want to take these human operating systems to a higher elevated state of being. That's what I keep telling them. Let's elevate ourselves to a higher state of being. We don't have to live in guilt and shame and, and those lower vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get rid of the guilt, the shame, the unworthiness, the the confusion, the belief that we have to continuously do more to be more, to realize we already are everything that we are. And it's part of the human journey to discover that who we really are, of course, and I find that so interesting, because often, like when I do these light language workshops, and people, we go through an exercise where they, after meditation, they draw a picture, with their light language, and then I show them how to interpret. People start to interpret the energy, the information from each other's pictures without knowing who it belongs to, right?
Yes. Beautiful.
And so they don't know whose it is, and they're saying, I see something, I see someone who's has a passion. I'm seeing a vision of horses, or someone who's really connects people, whatever information they come up with. And the person whose drawing it belongs to is always flabbergasted, because they're like, okay, did I really put my energy of my essence into that drawing, that someone who doesn't even know it's mine is actually able to interpret it? And often they say, like, it's so interesting that that's what you're seeing, because that's what I desire. They think that they don't have it. They don't have it yet. They think that it's something that they're missing, or that they still need to work to get, there.
Absolutely.
Which is, like I said, which is part of our human experience. But it's good to remember once in a while, like, even though we're experiencing getting somewhere and becoming something, the truth is it's all
Already
here,
there.
all of it,
I know.
right here, right now. Yeah.
That's what I tell parents. I say, long before you started to have children, you were programmed. Your parenting was already programmed, you know, and what you want to do is look at that and learn to parent yourself first. Because when you parent yourself first, you look at yourself and there's much more freedom, because you're like, oh, maybe there is a different way of looking at this. Maybe this, oh,
Yeah.
am I putting in my child what I want to do? Am I living through my child? Because I know I lived through my children and that sort of thing. So parenting first is that, you know, getting a hold of that energy you're talking about and looking at it. And we have to learn how to do that. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't happen overnight and that sort of thing. The other thing with parenting is I've had children that have had some really difficult times, and other siblings will say, well, you should have done this, you should have done that. And what's been revealed to me over the years is to allow them to have this level playing field where I just love them and allow the life to flow through them. And, you know, they make mistakes or they do things that are difficult, you know, to get through, but it's their lessons, they're learning. Children have to learn. You know, I always go back to the butterfly in the cocoon. If you zip open that cocoon and let the butterfly fly, he can't fly because he needs to struggle to get out of that, you know,
to strengthen the wings.
Yeah. And we have to watch our children struggle and make mistakes and love them while they're doing it, you know?
Yeah, awesome. So if you from your heart could broadcast a message into the world, for humanity, besides the things you've said, because you've already said some powerful messages already, is there anything else you would like to share? What is Deb's message?
Well, I say slow down.
Nice one.
Slow down. You know, we just think there's so much that has to be done. Because I work with teachers and parents, you know, they'll say, well, I don't have time to do life ingredients. And I'm like, you have more than enough time, but we have been programmed to believe hurry, hurry, rush, rush.
Yeah. And
I, in my 70th year, finally, because I always thought I was kind of cool, calm, and relaxed, you know. I wasn't. I was not. And I was constantly eating, and I'm learning how to get that, because I would get so crazy and I would just constantly overeat. I'm learning. It's been a really wonderful experience for me. And part of that is slowing down. I don't need food right now. What I need is a moment to breathe and, you know, slowing down. It's breathe, feel, respond. That's what we teach the kids. Breathe, feel, and then respond.
Yeah. You know, I love it. I can feel it. To even realize, like, well, I have that often. Like sometimes my dishwasher's broken at the moment, so when I'm cleaning, like doing the dishes, I notice that I'm doing it like and then I have to tell myself, like, just chill, just normal speed. You know, there's this hyped energy, you know, that just wants to do everything super fast, and just like you say, it's such a relief to like step back into myself, recenter, and just be where I am now. Even in the car, when I'm driving to a location, like, you know that you're driving a certain speed and you're gonna get there when you get there, but there's this feeling of I need to get there.
Yeah, exactly. That's
rush,
so beautiful.
This rush feeling. And then when the minute I notice that, I'm kind of like, just stop it. It's not helping. It's not changing anything by being in that energy, you know. Even if I left 5 minutes late, well, you're going to be 5 minutes late, and you're not going to be earlier by being annoyed about it, you know, or hyped about it. So I think that's a very, very good message, and a message that is suitable for everybody, young and old, because we do live in extremely fast times. We are used to fast. I mean, if you have to wait 3 seconds for something to load, you're like, why is it taking so long?
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to share this with you real quick. I've been doing a lot of tapping, you know, the EFT tapping and that. And last week, my coach said to me, she said, just, you know, how did she say it? You're always looking for the next thing. You're always looking for the next thing. And she said that throws you right out of your present moment. I thought, oh my gosh, it's so true.
Yeah,
so
good
like
one.
you, I was doing dishes the other day and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, I'm in the present moment. And to do your dishes in the present moment is really freaky. You're like, oh yeah, so the water.
It is freaky.
So it is, and,
Yeah.
you know, and so I've been practicing that, trying to practice that this week. Okay, now I'm in the present moment. What does this feel like? And like, I'm feeling such joy right now, being with you and talking. And
Yes.
I mean, if we could do this for the next 24 hours, I would do it with you. You know, it's just
Yeah.
so
I
wonderful.
could do this all day, really. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such joy because we're sharing our love and what concerns us about this
Yeah.
world. You know,
Exactly.
it's great. So
Yeah.
slow down, everybody. Yes.
Slow down. Yeah, I'm gonna take that to heart too. Thank you very much. And thank you for broadcasting your love and message and
My pleasure.
yourself into the world and sharing with me. I deeply appreciate it. And yeah, sending you all my love.
Thank you,
Yeah?
darling. The
Okay.
same to you.
Okay.
I just, you're a star in my life. I love you.
Thank you, Deb. See you
Okay.
soon. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.